or if the name on the screen is correct, I'm sorry. And then who it is you're representing here today, whether you're a neighboring property owner, a member of the applicant or the ownership team, or someone else. So I'll start with Katie.
She'll be right in. She's with the patient.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. And I see we also have a member of the zoning department here, Matt Lashide.
Hey, good morning, David. Hi, everybody.
I see we have Mike Bennett. Mike, you with us?
Yeah. Morning.
And Mr. Bennett, looks like you're with Solar Tent, the applicant here, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, great, welcome. See we have someone named Doug with us. Doug.
Yes, hi. Doug Difel. I'm just a neighboring property owner.
Okay, great. And you, can you spell your last name for me, Doug?
Yes, it's D as in David, E-I, F as in Frank, E-L.
Okay, great. Thanks. Also see someone under Cameron.
That's actually me, Suzanne Whitehofer. I'm also with Solar Tent.
Okay. And Whithofer, W-H-I-T.
W-E-I-H-O-F-E-R.
Sorry, W-E-I-T H-O, sorry.
You're correct, H-O-F-E-R.
Okay, got it. All right, welcome. And then we have someone under Andrew's iPhone. Is that person with us?
Yeah, this is Andrew Dempsey, also with Solar Tent, applicant.
Okay, great. And could you spell your last name for me?
D is in David, E is in Edward, M is in Mary, P is in Paul, S is in Sam, E is in Edward, Y.
Okay, great. Welcome. All right. Okay, I think that we can go ahead and get started unless we want to wait for Katie. Do we want to wait for Katie, or do we want to get started with the hearing now?
You can start. She'll be right in.
Okay, great, thanks. So I need to read through our hearing script. This will basically just cover the procedure for the hearing, and then we'll get started. So this is the May 22nd, 2024 session of the Zoning Hearing Examiner docket. Again, my name is David Sturkey. I'll be presiding over the hearing. The case before us today is case number ZH20240053. That's 3136 Madison Road. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and any other parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the zoning hearing examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any other party would like to offer must be presented at this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. For our purposes here today, anyone from the Solar Tent team or from the Hyde Park Dentistry will have an opportunity to tell me about the project. One of you can speak, all of you can speak. It's really up to you how you want to orient your presentation. After you all have had that opportunity, I will then move to the public. We'll have a chance to speak after the applicant has presented its case. I'll move to the zoning division of the planning department, Mr. Lashide, to provide any testimony in addition to his staff report. In the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to this application, the applicant will have an opportunity to respond to that testimony that was offered in opposition. And then finally, the applicant will have an opportunity to make any closing statements. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem be irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or make any comments. In the event of any technical difficulties with the Zoom technology, I'll do my best to troubleshoot those on the fly. But to the extent there's some defect that prevents us from meaningfully going forward with the hearing, I may continue or postpone the hearing at my discretion. Okay, last thing I had to do is just swear in all of our witnesses. So anyone that intends on providing any testimony here today, making any comments, asking any questions, doing anything other than just strictly observing is required to be sworn under the zoning code. So I'm going to go ahead and collectively do that now. So again, everyone that knows that they'd like to provide some testimony during this hearing, if you could take yourself off of mute. I need everyone to raise their right hand and to answer out loud. Okay, I need everyone to raise their right hand and answer out loud. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So great. So I have Cameron and Mr. Lashide. sworn in. Katie, why don't we go ahead and get you checked in? If you give me your full name and who you're representing here today.
I'm Katie Blomer. I'm the owner of the building.
Okay, could you tell me how to spell your last name?
Yep, it's B as in boy, L-O, M as in Mary, E-R.
Okay,
And
great.
sorry,
And
right now, so
yeah, I'm sorry. Can you say that again? You're breaking up a little bit, and your camera keeps going out.
I have patients right now, so I may be in and out a little bit.
Okay. All right, great. I'll just throw you on mute
Yeah.
for now. All right. Okay. Ms. Whithofer, are you ready to proceed and tell us about this project?
So we are the subcontractor, the applicant that's working with Katie Blomer in the Hyde Park Dentistry. And we are providing directional signage for them to help the customers see where their building is and to help direct them and guide them to the back of the building for parking. It is permanent signage, and it's stud mounted with adhesive metal signage. And we are just looking to get that added on, basically requesting a variance to allow the 2 wall signs on the building versus the 1.
Gotcha. Could you tell me a little bit more about the signage, what the type is, whether it's illuminated, non-illuminated, square footages, things like that, and where they're going to be located or proposed to be located?
Certainly. So it is not illuminated. It is a stud mounted aluminum with adhesive metal signage. And it is going across, and Drew, you can help me here, and Katie, because I'm filling in with where Ashley was too, if you need to. It's going on the front of the building, and then on the side of the building is where the second signage is going. And so it is, I don't have the square footage in front of me. I apologize for that. Drew, do you have that on hand?
No, I do not. I am out remotely.
I can give you a minute if you want to retrieve that information, or maybe we can ask the zoning department, zoning division.
Yeah, give me
if
just
perhaps they're aware.
Suzanne, it should be in the job file.
Yeah, I'm in a different location. I'm in Jason's office. I'm looking now. Mike, do you have Temp Pro pulled up?
Mike, you're muted.
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna check it out right now.
Thank you.
And it's the front of the building, the side of the building, and there's another sign on the back of the building.
Thank you, Katie.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So there's 3 total wall signs that you're proposing?
So ours, yes, the one company already got a permit for the 1 sign, correct, Katie? On the side of the building?
So the front of the building says the name of the practice. Then there's a little like kite that goes off the side of the building. And then the sign on the side of the building is the tail of the kite. Then the entrance of the building it has to be in the back of the building because that's where the parking lot is. And so there's a sign above the entrance as well. So the front and the back are words. The side is the tail of a kite.
And the words are the name of the business, Hyde Park Dentistry, correct?
Yeah, Hyde Park Pediatric Dentistry, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to add some more context to this by sharing my screen. All right. And can everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the front of the building here. This is the proposed signage here.
Yes, correct.
Okay. And then you're referring to the kite as an additional sign, is that right? Is this the kite we're talking about?
Yes.
That
Okay.
was by a different company and it's installed already.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. So not asking for permission for this sign.
That's
just
already
just this, because it's already there, and this. Is that right?
Yes, in the back.
Yep.
Got it. Okay. Were we able to identify the square footage of the signs, how large they're going to be?
I have a sign that's here. It's
Mr. Bennett, I'll have to swear you in. If you raise your right
sorry.
hand, do you solemnly swear
sorry.
the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, let me pull this up. I'm sorry. I don't know if this is I think it's in inches. Just a second here. Okay, it looks like it's 60 inches by 224 inches, 186 square feet.
Okay. That's the front sign.
Yes.
All right. And the rear.
There's a sign that's on here for that's 7 square feet. And
The
then
front
there's
sign
a
is okay.
then there's a sign that's on here that is 36 square feet.
Could you be more specific about which sign is what exactly?
Um, it just has north and south and painting, so I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty new, so I don't know exactly what the reference is for these. They don't appear
Okay.
to be super big at 20 some feet, 24 square feet. So
Okay.
I'm texting our
Um,
operational manager. I think the front is a total of 23 is the total area covered for the front.
so as we move back, so this sign is the front. You're telling me now it's not 186 square feet. It is 20 something.
Yes, the front is a 23 for a total area covered.
That,
Okay. Katie, we didn't get you there.
that makes way more, that makes way more sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the back is 27 for a total area covered. I was trying to do the math. And then yeah. And I texted my operations manager. So front is 23 square feet for a total area covered, and the back is 27. It's very close in size.
Got it. Okay. All right. Um, so stud mounted, non-illuminated, 23 square feet and 27 square feet. All right. Anything else you'd like to tell me about the proposal?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Ms. Blomer, anything else?
Y'all are still missing one on the side of the building. I'm kind of trying to look through my emails from you guys on like square footage, but I don't have it. But there's one more on the side of the building that you guys are supposed to be putting in.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the application materials myself. I mean, because if
Okay.
they're not in the application packet, then it's
Right.
not something that I can consider today.
Right.
And as I do that, let me go ahead and talk to Matt Lashai that helped process and prepare a staff report for this application and see if he can help shed some light on what's actually in the application materials. Matt?
Hey, David, thank you. So we are reviewing 2 wall signs here. There's a projecting sign on the side of the building that was permitted by a different sign company. That sign is included in the total building sign area, but it is not included in the number of wall signs. So it limits
Is
how
that the
big.
kite?
Yeah, that's the kite. It
Okay.
limits
Okay.
like how big their wall signs can be, because there's a limit of 1.5 square feet per every linear foot of building frontage. So that kite detracts from the amount of wall signage that's allowed. But the variance that we're reviewing is the number of wall signs. You're allowed to have 1 wall sign per street frontage. This property has frontage on 1 street, so they're allowed 1 sign. I need to note, I went out and I did a site visit. There's already a sign installed on the building and the permit has not been approved yet. That said,
Okay.
the variance that we're reviewing is for a second sign on the back of the building. And both of those signs total, including the projecting sign, are all within the permitted square footage. They are only requesting a variance to allow a second sign. It's on the back of the building facing the parking lot. There's no materials about a sign on the side of the building. It's only on the back of the building. And it's the same, basically the same kind of lettering as on the front. There are images on the staff report on the 6th page and 7th page that show what those signs are proposed to look like. They are non-illuminated aluminum dimensional letters. So I think it's an important part of this application that the signage is not illuminated, both because the signage is within an urban design overlay district that has, stricter design standards, and also because it's on the back of the building facing residential properties. Staff would have some concern if the signage was proposed to be illuminated, but it's not. It's just metal letters mounted on the back of the building. I don't anticipate any negative impacts on adjacent properties as a result of this signage, and all of the proposed signage is within the permitted size. They're just requesting a variance to have another sign on the back of the building because of the configuration of the property. Because the property is within an urban design district, when it was reviewed a few years ago, the design professional worked with staff to get a building that is sited on the sidewalk to maintain the walkability of Madison Road in Oakley. So with that, the parking lot had to be in the back. We understand a dentist office, may require parking. It's not like a retail store or a restaurant where you get a lot of walk-in, spontaneous foot traffic. Typically, people that go to a dentist office already have an appointment, especially for children. They may need to be driven there. So we understand the need for a parking lot, and we understand the need for wayfinding from that parking lot. So for all those reasons, and because the signage is, again, within the permitted size, they're just requesting another sign in the back for wayfinding. Staff recommends approval.
Okay, great. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate your work on the staff report and your testimony here today. I'll assume that Mr. Deifel does not want to provide any public comment, as he wasn't sworn.
Yeah, no, I was just, for information, I was just listening in.
Sure, no problem. Okay, I'll turn it back over to the applicants or the owners to make any other comments in response to anything they've heard or anything in closing or otherwise before we adjourn. Nothing? Okay. All right. I'm familiar with this property, doing some approvals on this originally. And I've reviewed the application and the staff report based on that and staff testimony here today. I am going to approve the request. I need to formalize that approval in a written decision. I mentioned at the beginning that typically takes about 2 weeks. With the current queue, I'd say that's a good estimate. It sounds like you already have one of these signs up. Anyway, so I'll get that out to you as soon as I can. Once I finish that, I put it into a PDF and I'll email it to everybody in the hearing. You'll have it really just moments after it's complete. As soon as you have that, Matt can approve the zoning permitting on his end, and hopefully you can move forward. Any questions about anything today?
No, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Okay.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, great. Well, thanks everyone. Hope you have a good day, and